Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and this video is actually my 20th Markiplier theory. So without further ado,
It's morning time.
So the first thing I want to talk about in this video is if actor Mark and engineer Mark are the same person. Because after all, there is one scene in Space with Markiplier Part 1 where you get to see actor Mark along with the whole set for In Space with Markiplier. So does this mean that all of In Space with Markiplier is just like scripted and faked? Even in the Markiplier lore, it's still fake and being made by actor Mark? Well, technically yes and no at the same time. So in my past theories, I've already established that there is a multiverse to the Markiplier lore. There is multiple timelines where certain events occur in certain timelines for the actual lore. Who Killed Markiplier, Wilfred Mother-Loving Wharfstache, Damien, Markiplier TV, all of that takes place in its own timeline. In Space with Markiplier Part 1 takes place in a different timeline from that, except for a couple scenes, and one of those scenes being the actor Mark cameo, because this scene right here actually takes place in the timeline where all of the other Markiplier projects and movies and stuff are in. But not only can we tell which timeline this goes on, but we can also see where this one scene goes on the timeline. We can tell, based off of how much more parole actor Mark has left, that this scene takes place after A Date with Markiplier. Because in this scene, he has only 1 more month of parole left, but in A Date with Markiplier, he has 5 years of parole left. So it's a pretty big jump, but it still technically comes after A Date with Markiplier. But try not to get confused, because after all of this, In Space with Markiplier Part 1 still takes place in its own timeline. The only thing that's different is that now we know that in the Who Killed Markiplier timeline, where all the other Markiplier projects besides In Space with Markiplier takes place, it is canon in that timeline that actor Mark was making a project called In Space with Markiplier. Although the In Space with Markiplier that we experience isn't the same In Space with Markiplier that's in actor Mark's timeline. Instead, we're experiencing one that takes place in a whole other timeline. Although in the In Space with Markiplier timeline, the one where you are actually the ship's captain, and there's only one Markiplier ego, which is an engineer, both you and Markiplier end up going through different timelines, one of those timelines being the Who Killed Markiplier timeline, also known as the actor Mark timeline. And that's how you're even able to see actor Mark in the first place. So all of that just to say that engineer Markiplier is only engineer Markiplier. He's not actor Markiplier. However, actor Markiplier did play engineer Markiplier since he did write In Space with Markiplier in his own timeline. So engineer Mark isn't actor Mark, but actor Mark is engineer Mark.
Engineer Mark is not actor Mark, but actor Mark might just be engineer Mark.
So now that all that confusing stuff is out of the way, let's move on to something else. Good news, guys, we finally found out what the jump in again secret is in Space with Markiplier. Well, actually, I didn't find it out. It was found out by Seven Fangs. Huge shout out to him. He's the one who found all of this out. And to be honest, this is one of the weirdest secrets that you can find in Space with Markiplier. So again, shout out to Seven Fangs, because as I was trying to find the jump in again secret, I just kept on going from video to video, seeing if there's anything in the background or any clues or any visual clues that help us out. But he decided to look into the audio, and apparently he found a video game inside of the audio for the jump in again videos. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth into this for 2 reasons. The first reason is because he's the one who found it out, so if you really want to hear all about it, just go check out his video. And the second reason is because I am not audio savvy. I don't know much when it comes to audio, especially with whatever he's doing with the audio right here. But if you look kind of like near the top part of those like big colorful audio visual things, then you can kind of make out people, it looks like. And then apparently he says you can also make out like a cow and a castle and stuff as well. And apparently you can like zoom in and like look around and stuff. And that all sounds pretty cool, but I don't really get it. Like I said, I'm not good with audio, especially when it comes to like changing it to like a visual thing and all that. So yeah, if you want to see how this all really works and stuff, just go check out his video. Now let's talk about the big question, the question that nobody has yet to answer, the question that has me second guessing myself anytime I start thinking about it. And of course, I am talking about In Space with Markiplier Part 0. And no, I still have not found the solution to this. The reason I'm mentioning this is because I saw a comment in one of my past theories, pretty much saying how they think the trailer for In Space with Markiplier is Part 0. And when I first saw this comment, I actually agreed with them, because the trailer does have well over 11 million views, and there is a scene in the trailer that might have shown the first Invincible. I'm not sure whether that is the first Invincible or not, because there is a chance that that scene was just a not fully edited version of the Invincible 2, but at the same time it could have been the first Invincible, who knows. So the trailer for the first In Space with Markiplier actually had potential to be Part 0, but then I looked at my first ever theory video. Okay, so actually this right here is my first ever Markiplier theory, and it showed my first ever Markiplier theory was just me recording my TV screen while I was playing the In Space with Markiplier trailer, and that's how I was presenting my theory to the world. Yeah. But the reason I brought up this video right here is because if you like skip forward a little bit, just to like right here, 11 seconds, you can see that the In Space with Markiplier official trailer has 11 million views. So this little detail right here throws off our best option for In Space with Markiplier Part 0. This makes the trailer not able to be Part 0, because right now it has 11 million views. And may I remind you, I did my first ever Markiplier theory before In Space with Markiplier even came out. I'm pretty sure near the end I talk about whenever I talk about when it actually comes out. Right here, it premieres in 40 something hours, so that's like 2 days. So this video was 2 days before the In Space with Markiplier, the first one, would come out, which means that the 10-year live stream hasn't even been made yet. And if you look at the trailer now, if you look at the In Space with Markiplier trailer now, it has 25 million views. So the amount of views didn't stop at 11 million. It kept on going and it kept on going, meaning that the In Space with Markiplier official trailer cannot be Part 0 because it was well past 11 million views by the time Markiplier released his 10-year live stream. Where is it? Yeah, 10 years of Markiplier was only 3 weeks ago. So yeah, the trailer was already well past 11 million views by the time the 10-year live stream was out. And to be honest, that kind of sucks a bit, because it would have made so much sense if the trailer for In Space with Markiplier was Part 0, with the whole Invincible 1 being in there and everything. That would have made so much sense. But now we're just back to step 1. So let's go ahead and review everything that we know about Part 0. We know that it has 11 million views or more. We know that it's not titled In Space with Markiplier Part 0, because that would have been way too obvious to the 11 million people who have already seen it. We also know that it is not In Space with Markiplier's Part 1 or 2, or the trailers for any one of them, and there is no route in A Date with Markiplier and In a Heist with Markiplier that ends with more than 11 million views. Plus, Part 0 has not been uploaded by MatPat or Syndigo. And finally, in part 0, apparently Lady chooses not to follow you through the wormhole. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And also, I did release my first ever scary story, creepypasta type thing, whatever you want to call it, on my second channel. So make sure to go check that out if you're in the mood for a scary story. It will in fact be one of the end cards for this video. So I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.